We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity with raising funds for nonprofit. And Justin's very different. I mean, he's just different. I don't know. He's just a different guy. Like, a lot of, I don't know, like Edward Rivera, he was a business guy, owned a mortgage company. So he's a friend and a client. And then he went to Moody Bible Institute in Chicago and became a pastor. And so my dad was a pastor. My youngest brother, was a pastor. I have a lot of uncles, so I come from a family of a lot of pastors. And pastors don't like me. They just don't. they do not like me. Like, and so I got on with Edward, and I'm like, man, I hate working with pastors. Oh. He's like, he laughs and he's like, why is that? I'm like, they have no integrity. Like, they have no integrity. And he's like, well, Mark, they're human just like everybody else. And I'm like, really? You're going to use that on me? Like, really? Like that? Like, you think that's going to work? And he laughs. And I said, so, you and I have known each other for 20 years. Like, and it's like they don't. He says, what do you mean they don't have integrity? I mean, like, they say they're going to do things and they don't do them. It's just weird to me. I mean, you'd think a pastor above all things would go ahead and have integrity. Like, you do what you say what you do, for crying out loud. But they don't. Like, I call that liars. Like, you're lying. Like, well, no, we're busy. No, you're lying. Like you're a grown man. You should be able to go ahead and follow through. And he's like, well, again, everybody's human. I'm like, we've known each other for 20 years, Edward. Like, is there one situation in those 20 years, one time ever? Like, has there ever been a situation that I said I was going to do something that I didn't follow through? 20 years. Like, we're all human, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, no, I can't come up with one thing. And from 20 years, like, to me, that's probably just my social autism. Anyways, Justin asked me this morning, he asked how I was doing. You'll learn. Don't ask Mark how he's doing. It's a trick question. It's just a trick question. Um, so it's like a lot of times my response is, it depends how I look at things, right?
Right.
You know, so if I look at things from one side, I could go ahead and say, man, I don't know. I feel like I'm in heaven. Like, it's unbelievable, unbelievable what all the cool things. If I look at it from another perspective, I could say, I feel like I'm in hell. Like, it's like, my gracious. And my kids say, Dad, you're not bipolar, you're quad or quinpolar. You're just like, so now I don't know. Like, is Justin one of those nice guys? Like, he didn't get his assignment done, so he's just buttering me up, and then I'm not going to beat the crap out of him.
I
Like,
got stuff done.
did you? Good for
Yeah.
you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm telling you, nonprofits, a lot of times, here's some observations I have, and I do a lot of volunteer. I mean, a lot of volunteer. Um, but it's like the organizations, they don't. I don't know. It's like they're entitled. Justin doesn't. He's not entitled. Like, he shows up, he does what he says he's going to do, and it's like, and I appreciate that. So the more he does that, the more I want to do, the more I want to give, the more I want to help, the more I want to do things, and it's like, So a lot of like a lot of this raising funds with not, for nonprofit, like, a lot of this stuff is not. Have I told you about the warm belly rub, Justin?
No.
Yeah, so um, you know, I think I told you nobody told me I was smart until I was 40, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not a very smart guy. Like, I'm just not. Like some of this stuff, I'm like, how can you not know this stuff? How can you not figure out? Anyways, I would have been probably, I don't know, in my late 30s. And it was cloning me. Like I'm trying to clone me. I'm trying to get other people. So we do one of the 9 companies that I own is Action Vision or Synergy Solutions. The product is Action Vision. So it's helping. So we do top level coaching of, of small companies, startup companies, all the way to GE, like all and everything in between, like small, large, everything in between.
Right.
And I was trying, and I'm like, I can't, like everybody wants to be coached by me. And I'm kind of a mean coach. Like people, they kind of don't like me. Um, which is weird because once my wife was walking up at the office and she walked by my office and I was, coaching a client pretty aggressively. And when I went home that night, she said, who are you? Like, who are you coaching? Like, you just ripped his head off. I'm like, yeah, that was Tom Ninnis. And she's like, isn't he the guy that referred us like $260,000 in business over the last 15 months? I'm like, oh, yeah.
I remember you telling me that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So then she goes ahead and says, I don't know why people pay you. And I'm like, right, you and the kids get it for free. So I try to share that story so people are really afraid of me. I'm really a marshmallow. But when people are paying me money, I'm not nice to them. I mean, I'm just like, you're paying money not to be my friend. You're paying money to get this stuff done. So a lot of times in the nonprofit world, I mean, in the business world too, but in the nonprofit especially, like they come up with all these excuses and reasons. And I just want to tell them, I just want to shake them and say, I thought you were passionate about, this cause. Anyways, so everybody wanted to be coached by me. And I had other people who are actually far better coaches in specific areas than me. And I couldn't figure out how to clone myself, how to get people to want to work with other people. Everybody want to work with me. So one day I came home and my wife was making dinner and we had 5 kids at the time. And she said, hey, honey, Angela's got a dirty diaper. Can you change it? And, so she's good at the 5 time management, freedom fighters, delegate, systematize, contract out, hire someone or partner with someone. So she was delegating it. She was delegating the diaper change because she was busy, right? And so I
Right.
get it. Well, I'm busy too, right? And so I went ahead and delegated it to my oldest daughter, Ginger Ann, who is, I think, 12 years old at the time. Now she's the oldest of 5. I mean, she's the oldest of 7 now, but 5 at the time. So the truth is, she had changed more diapers than dad. Like, so she was competent. She was competent. She knew how to do things. She had done more than dad had done. And so, I'm expecting when I delegate this bad boy that, she's going to be fine. So it was her youngest sister who needed the diaper change. And so the youngest one started crying. She wanted mommy or daddy to do it. And I remember I remember thinking, Mark, you are the worst, bar none leader in the world. You can't even delegate a diaper change, for crying out loud. Like, why do people even pay you to go? Like, you can't. How hard is that to do? I mean, I remember so much frustration. And so I said, but then I paused and I thought, so it's called the warm belly rub. So I thought, well, Mark, maybe, you're 3 degrees in business. They didn't teach you how to do this. They didn't teach you how to clone yourself. They didn't teach you how to go ahead and do any of this stuff. So that your education didn't help you squat on this, and all
Yeah.
the smart people that I know, none of them knew the answers because I had been in pursuit. I'm like, how do you clone? And they're like, I don't know. Like, but you're president of like a largest, real estate company in the world. Like you're smart. Like you should know this. Why don't you know this? I'm like, I don't know it. So nobody knows. So I'm like, well, maybe your oldest daughter and youngest daughter will teach you a lesson if you'll just be humble and you'll just pay attention. I'm like, well, that's a novel concept. I think I'll do that. So I said, Angela, lay down. Your sister's changed your diaper. I had done that before too, many times. I wasn't frustrated enough to learn. Like when you get frustrated, really, really frustrated, you learn. So Angela laid down dutifully, obeying her dad, and Ginger Ann proceeded to change her diaper. And all of a sudden, like within seconds, I'm like, you got to be kidding. You have got to be kidding. Now, I don't know if my wife and I were bad at, training, or if our, daughter was not the best, student, but the poor naked baby is on a cold floor. This is not required to go ahead and get the job done. You can get the job done with a naked baby on a cold floor, but it's not going to be a raving fan experience. Like the baby and squirming. And when you got messy ones, you can't have them squirming all over the place. And I thought,
I
that's what we
remember.
did. That's what we did. We didn't teach her the warm belly rub. We didn't teach her, hey, you can change a diaper this way, but it's not going to work so good for your client, the baby. You got to make the client happy. And then you got to tickle her, and you got to make her giggle, and you got to make it a fun experience. And so, like all of these things, not one of these things. So the warm belly rub principle is the secret to cloning. If you want to dish something to somebody else, the warm belly rub. So what you have is you have a tremendous amount of unconscious competence where you're really good at doing things, but you don't even know you're good. You don't even know what you know. You just do it. It's great for personal productivity. It's great for that. You're just a machine. You just go in, but then nobody else can do it. So when we say warm belly rub, that's the secret to cloning. And I learned that from my oldest daughter and my youngest daughter. Why? Because I was humble, frustrated, and I said, I am going to learn how to do this. And so it's one of the 500 plus natural laws, one of the favorite of people. They're like, that makes all the sense in the world. So what you want to do in that situation of cloning yourself, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and be a really good teacher. And you want to be very much aware. You want to slow down and then put down in a spreadsheet and a checklist. We like Google. So Google spreadsheets, and you put down, here's this, and then think about you tell them to smile. You tell them to go ahead and have a good attitude. You say, ask questions like this is good for fundraising. Like, how are you doing, Mark? Like be nice. Like some people, you got to train them to be nice. Like some people like me, it's like social autism. So when we go through and we look at this here, so we've gone through and we did, box one of the 530 grid. Then we said, box two was, did you do your assignment? And then, and then you go ahead. And then it looks like Adam, Mary Jo, has not gotten this one fixed. I mean, we're not going to watch it, but Justin is amazing,
I appreciate it.
and so he probably doesn't know it. He's at level 4 where he's unconsciously competent, and that's good for personal productivity, but not for his organization. And so, so what we're, a lot of what we're doing here is, a lot of what we're doing here is there's the mechanical of fundraising, but then there's tons, 100,000 of different warm belly rubs. And so that's the hardest thing to train is the natural laws. So what we learned in the BOSS system, the business operating system, the engine that runs our nonprofit, our organization. So, we're earning the money we're earning, working the hours we're working, having the stress life balance we do or don't because of the boss. And then there's 3 elements. So you have the personalities, the business, the DNA for business, the 530 grid, and then the DNA for life. And the DNA for life in many ways is the hardest thing to teach. And so a lot of times people are like, I get that. I know that. And it's like, you actually don't. I mean, you know it at a surface level, but you don't know it at a deep level. The 530 grid is much more linear, kind of. It's almost like an artist. And so, it's almost like an artist, like you learn how to brush strokes and color and light and all this stuff. And once you learn the foundation, like if you go ahead and I think we got you over, I could be wrong though. I think we got you over the 530 grid and the different ways to look at the 530 grid, Justin.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Did you look at any of those?
I did.
Okay. And then did you manage up and out on those after you looked at them?
Well, what I did this week was kind of take some tips from you from last week. I called two of the celebrities, Mark Howe and Brian Prop, set up an autograph signing with them, and they're coming out. Um, I'm looking for a restaurant, and my pitch to the restaurant is, if you give us some space and donate some space, I'm going to bring in a lot of people. You'll sell a lot of food, so maybe you can give me it for free and donate it to the charity. And then I went on and found some inexpensive. Some of it was a little expensive, but some inexpensive memorabilia for them to sign. And then I'm going to turn around and sell it for more than obviously what I paid for it, and hopefully make some money. And the admission to get in, they have to buy at least one ticket to the game.
Nice. Nice. So, um, what would you like to accomplish today, Justin?
I guess trying to make sure that I'm taking a risk doing this because the players are between the two of them are $2,500 just to show up. So I'm on a shoestring. So I got to make that money back and hopefully turn a profit. So I guess budgeting is probably an important part of what I need to know when to gamble, I guess, and know when not to gamble as much. Because I think part of it is you have to take chances, and then part of it is you have to know when not to take chances.
Right. I'm only 61 years old, so I don't know that answer. Um, I think probably, um, they call it in business bootstrapping, so it's, you bootstrap your business. And so I think a lot of times you and I might not make the best decisions on those type of things. So how do we survive? We make up for it because we just work hard, you know. And so the 530 grid, and that's where this here would help you a lot. The assignment that I gave you. So first is you got to go ahead and know how to manage up and out. That's really important. And so I think that's somewhere in here. If it's not, we'll get it in here. But manage up and out is magical. I mean, it's just I'll find it here in a second. So there's a white paper here, and so there's a white paper here, and so you go ahead and manage up and out. This is where the link is. So there's three things whenever you watch a video, a podcast, read a white paper, anytime you're learning. It could even be on these live sessions. And so you go ahead and put at the top of it what the URL is, the address, the name, so it's clear to whoever you're sending it to what you're, reading. And then the first thing you say, what did I learn? The second thing is, what action will I take from what I learned? And then the third thing is what I need to learn next. And then Mary Jo invented a fourth thing. This thing's been around for years. Like I discovered this probably 20 years ago. But Mary Jo came up and she discovered quantum thinking. So this is when you seek to connect whatever you are learning and will do in your life vision, your why, something that is significant to you so you'll never forget, always follow through. So this is what's called manage up and out. So when you do this, it helps us to help you more. And so what we're doing here is when you go ahead and go into, so what we had given you to go through the videos on the 530 grid or the podcast on the 530 grid, there's different ways of looking at the 530 grid. So when you start to see the 530 grid is almost like a living entity. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's like you can make 530 grid sing for you. I mean, it's just like it's almost like when I talk about the 530 grid, it's almost like, my wife talking about our grandchildren, like it's kind of like that. It's beautiful. They're amazing. So here is learn to think differently, and here are systems. And so those are two videos. And then this goes over the 530 grid.
Mark, you
Then,
had froze up.
You froze up for a little while. Yeah.
okay. So can you guys see it now?
Yeah. Yeah. We can see it now.
Okay. So in here, there's different ways to look at the 530 grid. And so there's some videos, learn to think differently. So what's holding us back? Albert Einstein said you can never solve a problem on the level it was created. What does that mean? It means we create our own problems based on how we think. So to solve a problem, we need to learn to think differently. Then it talks about systems. So these two short videos help you to go like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. And then it goes into the 530 grid. And then there's four ways to learn the 530 grid. And these are like, I don't know, 8 to 15 minute long videos. They're not long. And so you just do one a day and you manage up and out to it. And then here's the internalization model. The story behind this is Tom Coons, the past president of Century 21. It's the largest real estate, franchise in the world. He gave me the gift of the internalization model. So it's helping us to internalize things so we learn faster. So this thing's just amazing. When you look at it, it's like, holy cow. Then it goes into the 6 levels and the 3 segments of the 530 grid. And then it goes into the GTing it, the golden triangle. And I'll connect the dots in just a second. So I'll connect the dots to what you were saying on making good or bad decisions. How do you know what to do? So bad decisions can actually make a lot of money. Good decisions can actually go ahead and lose a lot of money. This is what's frustrating. It's like, so it's a good decision. It's just you executed it in a way where you lost money. It's a bad decision. You should have never done that in the world. But if you execute it well, you can make money on bad decisions. It's like, okay, well, that's pretty reassuring, Mark, because I make a lot of bad decisions, right? Me too. And it's like, whoa, this one here is really cool. It's 3 feet from gold. So this is often we do things and we think we're failing, but we're just off just 3 feet. We're just off a little bit. And then
I did listen to that one. Yeah.
Yeah, this one here is really good because one helps us not to quit. When we get discouraged and frustrated, I mean, you're beyond that point probably. Now you're just like a gambler and you just put so much, you can't quit. I can't give up now.
No, there's no turning back.
There's no turning back. But this is good because it also helps you, one, not to quit. Two, is to listen to the experts. Mary Jo, she's a little shy, but she would say, listen to Mark. And she'd be wise. I mean, that'd be wise. Like, listen to Mark. Like the guy, man, he's sometimes not very charming and he's an egomaniac. I mean, this is what people have said about me, but he really knows, like he came up with all this stuff. So like, listen to it because you can make this thing sing. And I'm telling you, you can generate a lot. Then it goes into the 530 grid as a, leadership, profitable partnership. And then it goes into magic seed system. So it goes into the magic seed. And what this is doing is it's taking your successes and it's like Miracle Grow. And it's feeding your successes back into your marketing, pre-sales, and sales. And then it gets even more fun. Like this is when I get excited. Like this is this is when I get excited. It's like, what? Like, this is the prospect rescue. This is where you take why you don't raise funds, or somebody doesn't give you money or doesn't continue to give you money. You take that failure, feed it back into here, or when somebody's afraid of giving you money or whatever. There's a whole bunch. So you go ahead and plug this, and this makes the 530 grid sing. Like, it really makes it good. And then asking for referrals. So there's another one of the natural laws, the 530 on there's another natural law, and it's called the cluster principle. So people who, are passionate about something know other people that are passionate about something. So disabilities, people know other people with disability. People with a lot of money know other people with a lot of money. So this right here could double. This one video here could help you double your contributions. I mean, it's crazy. Then here is the referral machine, and this is where it gets. This is like, I just get excited. I'm like, okay, this is how this works, and you do this and this and this and this, and then you go through and you go, and then this gets even more so. This is FedExing it, and so this is fun for me. I like teaching this kind of stuff. I like coaching and mentoring. I like when people get into this. This is really fun. But first, we have to learn how to do addition and subtraction. And so that's where you get into the individual, and this is identify targets. So this particular video here, this is, I think, an 8-minute video. Yeah, this is an 8-minute video, and it goes through and it talks about box one, building your databases. And so it's box one. So this is the addition and subtraction. It's like, you got to go ahead and build a database. The bigger the database you build. And so now this is important. This is really important, box one. Then you get into box two. And so, I have one of my 3 business degrees is a marketing degree. So you'd think, well, anybody that has a, bachelor's degree in marketing, but like, I didn't know anything. Like, it's like, really. And then I went ahead and I taught this class, and I read the book Made to Stick, and so this is how to write really good copy, how to make things stick. And I don't watch movies twice, and I don't read books twice. I go through and I make sure that I'm getting everything the first time, because I taught a course on this through Life Masteries Institute. I think you can still get the course. Normally it's, there's a charge for it, but because you're nonprofit, you can probably go ahead. If you're really nice to Mary Jo, you can go ahead and probably, then you make a contribution, whatever you can do. If it's $10, it's $10. And so I taught this course, and I taught it like 3 times. And on the 3rd time, I'm like, you gotta be kidding. Like, I didn't know this. And so what I learned, after the 3rd time, a whole degree, 20 years of marketing. And then I found out it's really simple. I mean, it's not to go through the course, read the book, Made to Stick. It's ask a question and tell a story. That's what it is. It's like, really? I got a degree in marketing. And they didn't teach me that. Like, they didn't teach. It's ask a question, because a question goes ahead and opens up the mind.
Right.
And then a story fills that mind with something exciting. And so from Made to Stick, they have 6 different things. They say, keep it simple, make it unexpected, make it concrete, make it credible, make it emotional, and do a story. And so it's worth it to read the book. It really is. And I don't personally know Dan and Chip Heath, so I got no skin in the game. Get the book. It's a cool cover, right? Duct tape on it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is the best. It is the best book I've seen on writing great copy. So if you have you know, a database of people, the larger the database you have, the more money you're going to generate. If you have a good, you're only as strong as the weakest of the two. If you have great copy, but you have a database of people, it's not going to go very far. So you want to build up, you want to have a machine of building up your database. And so the two gentlemen, I know Brian personally. And so, tell Brian I said hi next time you talk to him. Um,
Yeah, I
and
will.
yeah, and then go ahead and say it was actually Mark's idea that got you this, signing gig.
Absolutely.
Say,
Yeah.
hey, Mark's out there looking out for you, buddy.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I really and lovely wife and
Yeah.
kids and stuff like that. So just a phenomenal story. Anyways, so he's got a network of people. So can he, is he marketing to his, group of people? And then
That's what I'm trying to do because he's playing in the game too. So he's,
oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
So get out to Mary Jo and I the invite.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, I was kind of teetering. Should I be out there? Shouldn't I be out there? Like, shouldn't I be out there? And it's like, I mean, that's just insane. I mean, the guy had a stroke. Like,
Yeah, I know.
like, like he had a stroke and he's out there. Shoot, I haven't had a stroke and I wouldn't do really well. I mean, muscle memory is just crazy. Like the brain is just phenomenal how it
Yeah,
heals. And the he's what an inspiration he is. And then Ski, you know him, right?
I do. I met him a few years ago.
Yeah, so I know him. I've known Ski for, I don't know, 25, 30 years, and so yeah, you want to get him involved. I think he's got it. I haven't talked to him a couple years. But he's probably got a database too. So you want do you know what do you have a few more minutes or you got to run?
Yeah, a couple minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So let me go ahead and finish up this and then we'll go into the next one here. But these things here, you go through here and then you manage up and out and you learn these boxes. And so you can take a bad idea and make money from it. Just it's brute force. But when you have the systems in place, it doesn't take that much work. Like
Right.
Mary Jo for Life Masteries Institute, she's sending out, I think, 200,000 emails a month and building it up to 500 and then it's going to go to 750 then it's going to go to 1 million a month. And so she could probably go ahead and they've got Life Masteries as a database of 17 million businesses. So you could go ahead and partner up with Mary Jo. So she can do a geographic circle, draw a geographic circle in your area, an hour, 2 hours, whatever from your, central location.
Right.
And you could do that. And then, yeah, now I'm getting excited. Like, whoa, like this is cool. But yeah, I would love to see Brian. I'd love to meet him. I've never met him in person.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so everything's been done, over Zoom, over the phone, and so, he and I were really connected there for I don't know a year or two. And so, but yeah, that'd be fun to come and watch him play. So we need to get it out to and you get other people, you get other rainmakers. So we're going to go into the part two here.